Hi. This is an analysis of Book No. 8. Grant Cardone Rule 10x. I will read out 8 points to you, and please try to understand, because each point is deep in its own way, and it needs to be understood in different ways. Let's move on to the first point. When choosing between low or high goals, choose the latter. People suffer less when they try to achieve more difficult goals. It's great. But let's not forget that some people confuse complexity with impossibility. I mean, if you're going to go to Mars right now, then, to be honest, it's such a lousy idea, and for some people, it's completely impossible. But we need to set difficult tasks, because if we do something trivial, something simple that does not require any mental or physical effort, then we, as a person, as a resource, simply run out. You need to gradually, little by little, complicate your tasks in order not to stop developing. Well, of course, you only need to do your favorite things. So listen, you should have a planner like me. Please make the tasks more difficult and let them scare you. By the way, this is a normal reaction of the body. If something scares you, know that you are doing something right. And if it scares you to the point where you don't believe it, then it's an impossible task. Simplify it. Understood, right? The second point. You can achieve any goal if you attack with the right actions in the right amount and persevere. Damn it, the formula. Is that how you understand it? Look, I extract similar formulas from almost any book about success, motivation, and so on, but the following components are considered here. Let's stop again. Let's attack with the right actions. Well, for example, you have a task there, I do not know, to make 100 sales. What does the right action mean? This means that you need to sell to your target audience, not just think about sales, but also call them directly, get in touch with them, demand that they meet with you, and so on. These are the right actions. That is, let's say, listening to music and putting everything off until tomorrow is the wrong thing to do, as you understand. Then everything goes to the right volume, and here, again, if our book is called 10x Rules, you have set a goal and task for today to establish 10 contacts, be kind and multiply by 100. And even if you realize that you will not be able to establish 100 contacts, and it is impossible for you, you will still be closer to the impossible than to the minimum bar. So, the second key ingredient is quantity and persistence. Well, everyone understands the rules of perseverance in different ways. Personally, I understand it this way, that perseverance is, in fact, an element of stupidity, a good element of stupidity, because you will often be refused, told that you are doing something wrong, and generally you are bad, relatively speaking, because everyone has a different picture of the world. Maybe a person has it that way, and there is. I don't understand what you're doing at all. And he says your idea is stupid. That's how it was with me, and perseverance is the ability to filter what you're being told and follow it through. So remember these 3 points? I would even advise you to write them down. Directly, I do not know. Almost write these 3 things on the wall. Next, point number 3. If you don't make success your goal and responsibility, then for the rest of your life people will come up with excuses for why they didn't succeed. By the way, I was surprised why I wrote this down, because coming up with an excuse is actually a very energy-intensive thing, because first of all, you have to lie. Well, you know, everyone wants to appear better than they really are. Let's be honest, especially in front of strangers. I wasn't experienced enough. I wasn't wise enough. I didn't have enough competence, you know. That is, it's a lie. It's reality. If you noticed yourself, a lot of energy is being spent. Because it's fiction, it not only sucks buckets of energy out of you, but you yourself begin to believe it after a while, and it's completely wrong. Screwed up. So let's just understand that when we justify our failure, it's not easy. Fourth, some people believe that success is finite, but success is not a limited edition lottery. It's fun, isn't it? I remember the upbringing of my grandparents, when they, being good people, just taught the way they were taught. That is, They couldn't use some new parenting model there. Rich people were somehow looked at askance, pointed at obliquely, and generally, these people were considered not second-rate. They were almost enemies of the people, and you know that they were always perceived as truly lucky. That's how lucky they are. You've probably also heard the story that someone was lucky. Why is it that when we open the Forbes list, we see a lot of people who are millionaires in the fields of gas, oil, factories, and manufacturing? Of course, the easiest way to say that they are such bad embezzlers that they manage to steal. But if you had the opportunity to be more disruptive, to be in the right place at the right time, with the right people, I think you wouldn't turn it down either. But objectively. But if you think about it, the word lucky is not quite appropriate, so do not treat success as a lottery. There is no limit to the number of winning tickets, and you just need to put in more effort to get a winning ticket. Yes, write it down somewhere. Fifth, how to become easy prey for scammers. Unfocus and work hard. Grant Cardone said that when he was about 50 years old, even at that age, when he has both experience and knowledge, scammers came to him very tactfully and correctly. Well, they cheated him out of money. And all this, in his opinion, happened only when he was distracted from the main goal. That is, for example, if you are 100% focused on something and immersed, then you do not have time to meet with a scammer. That is, there is logic here. Now understand that if you work half-heartedly, you are in some way open to various questionable offers. Of course, there are good offers, but also, besides good offers, there are also insidious offers to which, as we found out, you are also open. Don't work half-heartedly. Farther. Sixth, don't mind your own business and constantly throw wood on the fire. Grant Cardone says that if you have started developing a personal brand at all, then you should not do it in stages. I'll tweet something once or post a post on Facebook, and then I'll go off into the wilderness. No. You have to do this constantly many times, and not one time, but systematically. If you're standing in a traffic jam that's barely moving, and you switch your feet from the brake to the gas, then you're using up a lot more gas than if you were just driving down the highway at 70 kilometers per hour without taking your foot off the pedal. That is, it would seem, well, it's a bit illogical how you can use more gasoline there if you drive at a speed of 2 kilometers per hour, all the time brake gas. But I say again, I'm not a mechanic. I understand that something is working in the engine, that it takes more energy to start. I understand all this, but just think about it. You drive slower, stop often, use more energy. Gasoline in this case, and if you drive fast, then you save gasoline. That's all. When you do something, for example, when you immerse yourself in the idea of development, then opportunities themselves find you. That's how it worked for me. So, for example, look, I'm investing money in Facebook ads. New people come all the time, people, they come, and then bam, a journalist writes about you, completely free of charge. In other words, my resource is already working for me. That is, if you stop, you will be overtaken by competitors. Okay? Seventh, does any excuse help you improve your condition? This is a question. Now you need to ask it to yourself more often. If you have them, you just need to put them away completely. Just throw them out of your mind, literally, and throw them in the trash. They won't give you anything. And you need to ask questions of a different nature, which, in your opinion, were not enough for you to succeed. Ask yourself the right question, and we'll talk about questions again. Point 8. Make yes, I can an integral part of your life, speech, and thinking. Pay attention to the order in which I said it. First, life, speech, and thinking. But there is a paradox here. How can you say yes, I can with your life first, and then with your speech and thoughts? No way. Because it all starts with a thought. First of all, if it's difficult for you to imagine anything at all, well, for example, you can't conditionally just like that. I want you to have a private jet, of course. You won't have it anywhere. I am 100% sure of this, but if you imagine that you become a successful entrepreneur, and only then allow yourself to do this on a plane. That is, at the level of thoughts. Then the chain begins, thoughts, then words, and only then in life. So, let's say you feel like you have some kind of problem, that you're doing something wrong. In general, first figure out what you are doing wrong, and then try to get rid of it at the level of thoughts, then at the level of words, and only then these two components will fix something in your life. That's cool, isn't it? 8 points. Write it down, put it into practice, and you'll feel better. Bye-bye.